Hi everybody, this is just absolutely abominable and disgusting, but what else could we expect from CNN or any mainstream corporate media? So here we have this article. European colonizers killed so many Native Americans that it changed the global climate, researchers say. European settlers killed 56 million indigenous people over about 100 years in South, Central and North America, causing large swathes of farmland to be abandoned and reforested. Researchers at University College London, or UCL, estimate. The increase in trees and vegetation across an area the size of France resulted in a massive decrease in carbon dioxide, CO2, in the atmosphere, according to the study. Carbon levels have changed enough to cool the Earth by 1610, researchers found. Columbus arrived in 1492. CO2 and climate had been relatively stable until this point, said UCL geography professor Mark Maslin, one of the study's co-authors. So this is the first major change we see in Earth's greenhouse gases. Before this study, some scientists had argued that the temperature change in the 1600s, called the Little Ice Age, was caused only by natural forces, but by combining archaeological evidence, historical data and analysis of carbon found in Antarctic ice, the UCL researchers showed how the reforestation directly caused by the Europeans' arrival was a key component of the global chill, they said. So, for once we've been able to balance all the boxes and realise that the only way the Little Ice Age was so intense is because of the genocide of millions of people, Maslin told CNN. What a disgusting, despicable article. On so many levels. It is an offence. It's blasphemy. That's what it is. It is blasphemy. For a start, the whole article, instead of actually lamenting the fact that 56 million people were murdered by European settlers, instead of expressing any upset about that, no, what we're going to focus on is what we can learn from it. What can we learn from murdering 56 million people? Allegedly, right? I say allegedly because this is a hypothesis. This is a total sham theory. Supporting what? Supporting the elitist agenda of a mass call of humanity. They've written it out on the Georgia Guidestones, haven't they? In 8 different languages. Bring the Earth's population, maintain Earth's population at under 500 million. As if they have a right to say how many people should live on Earth after God said go forth and multiply. And when we know for an absolute fact that if you want to stabilise Earth population, you want to bring it to balance, well, give women their rights, give them their autonomy, give them access to contraception, education, give people a living wage. But no, they don't want to do that, do they? They want to do everything and anything but give up their power, because don't forget, this is mainly a male consciousness that has been ruling us for how long, calling itself a patriarchy, but which is in fact an oligarchy, It wants easy access to women. It wants millions of unwanted children. You know, why would a parent not want a child? Unless that parent is so debilitated through poverty and oppression that they're incapable of raising a child. Because there's no joy in raising a child that you have to say no to. There's no joy in raising a daughter that you've got to hand over at the age of 12 to be raped or to go and work in a factory sweatshop. And so what does that lead to? Oh, more joy to, what amounts to a set of dickheads. The elite, because, superior people. What would you expect of superior people? Except to be lawless, mindless, discompassionate entities, psychopaths basically, who have created the very system that we are living in today, who have left millions of people in poverty, billions in poverty in their so-called third world nations. Which we can easily see that the countries where the women have the least rights are the countries that have the highest populations. Oh, but we won't talk about the fact that, you know, the average lifespan in those countries is 40 years old, if the child manages to survive beyond the age of 5. And, you know, let's now celebrate the fact that, oh, you know, we have learned, because apparently, you know, we've only got 10 years before major climate change hits, irreversible climate change, apparently all caused by us, when the fact is humanity has put in what, 0.07% of extra carbon into the atmosphere. And actually the worst carbon is caused through methane gases released via the livestock industry, which also calls for mass deforestation. Okay? And methane is 70 times, 100 times, and then 70 times higher than regular CO2. In fact, if, say, Britain cut down its meat eating by half, if we cut down meat and dairy by half, it would be the equivalent of garaging every single road vehicle in this country, fossil fuel road vehicle in this country, overnight. Right? That's the impact it would have. So, you know, we won't persuade people to change the diet. We won't give people their rights. We won't do anything that means that the elitist consciousness has to give up some of their wealth and power. No, no, no. They must keep their wealth and power, and the only way, therefore, is, you know, kill millions of people. That's the solution, isn't it? That's the solution now, all on the strength of this study. Oh, because they've studied Antarctic ice. Well, let me show you something. How do you think this came about? They studied Antarctic ice cores, and they found out that the last phase of the Little Ice Age was forced by volcanic eruptions that blocked out the sun, and it did cause the Little Ice Age. It wasn't murdering 56 million American people. London University College can go to hell, okay, with their absolute evil nonsense, and so can CNN. These studies are far more in depth. We know for a fact that that is what caused the Little Ice Age. And we know for a fact that the main thing that's causing climate change right now is Earth's magnetic field. Okay, we're going through pole reversal. That is what is happening. Google it. Check it out. That is what is happening right now. We're in the middle of magnetic pole reversal. And during the time of that happening, Earth's magnetosphere is much weakened, and that does allow more of the sun's energy to come through, and that does cause climate change. Earth's atmosphere is going to heat up regardless of what we do. That's what's going to happen. All we can do is prepare for it. Like, for example, be aware that Siberia has got thousands of megatons, gigatons of methane trapped beneath its surface in the permafrost. So we have to work out a way of extracting that safely and using it. Burning it off is the only way that we're going to get rid of it. It is a threat, it is a danger, and that is going to be released as the climate warms up, no matter what we do about it, no matter how many people they kill. What are we going to do about it? Why have we got all this technology if we are not using it in order to survive on our planet and to protect the life of our planet. What is the point of us being here? Apparently, we're all here to service the whims and pleasures of a set of insane madmen. Fuckers, basically, because that's what they like. Because I tell you, only fuckers calling themselves a patriarch could reduce women to the degradation that they have had women in for over 1,000 years. Could allow a child to be raised in abject poverty so that they can live big in their fancy houses, wearing their fancy clothes. It is absolutely abominable, the level of lies that are being publicised by entities like CNN. Here, the possible relationship between Earth's climate and geomagnetic field has been highly debated in the last 50 years, but it is still an open question. The first serious proposals that quantify this possible link were given by Wallin et al., who pointed out that low geomagnetic intensities are generally associated with warm climate periods, similar to the current situation, and by Boucher, who suggested that the drifts of geomagnetic poles could have been responsible for displacements of a large low-pressure region of the Earth's atmosphere associated with an increase in cyclonic activity and sudden climate changes. Throughout the last few decades, other mechanisms that could explain the geomagnetic field climate reaction have been proposed. The most plausible, at long-time scale, is related to the rate of galactic cosmic rays coming into the Earth's surface. This flux of galactic cosmic rays is modulated by the intensity of both Sun and Earth's magnetic fields that act as a protective shield. High values of the solar and Earth's magnetic field intensity reinforce the shield, and then a low density of galactic cosmic rays coming to the solar system is expected. Excuse me. So, you know, there you have it, people. And this study, you know, this was done in 2018. It was published. This was a long, in-depth study. You can see all the figures. You can go through it, all the data here, everything. Right? This, what is this? Done by London College. Nothing. What have we got here for them to prove it? Apart from, oh, we studied the ice cores and we found that, you know, after 100 years after they'd murdered 56 million people, that it altered the climate. Allowed for reforestation. So, you know, why is it that throughout Britain they've been chopping the trees down in every city? Sheffield, which was the greenest city in Europe, oh, that's set to lose 75% of its trees. And we know it's to make way for 5G, because, you know, trees block the signals. So, on the one hand, they're moaning about climate change, right? They're talking about a carbon tax that Boris Johnson wants to hit us all with now. A carbon tax. Because that's going to help the climate, isn't it? When we're paying a carbon tax. But, you know, meanwhile, we'll chop down 75% of your trees that absorb tons of carbon out of the atmosphere. You know, one tree produces enough oxygen for 4 people. So in Sheffield, they've decided to cut down the oxygen production by 75%. Haven't they? That's basically what they've done. And also cut down carbon, CO2 absorption by the same. And this is the level of madness that we are dealing with. Because these people, like I say, the only way is for them to give up their wealth and power and start investing in life on our planet. and in how to save the life of our planet, because that is what we are here for. And if they cannot use their money and technology to do that, if all they can do is continue in the same vein of people of 500 years ago, well, more than that, 600 and odd years ago, yeah, let's revert back to that. Let's just go and kill millions of people, because, you know, they've got their little bunkers to go and run into, haven't they? But there's going to be no hiding place. You can't hide. They can't hide. They don't understand that, look, your bunkers are going to be hell, okay? And you're going to die in those bunkers. Because don't forget, you've got nuclear power plants dotted all over the bloody place. And they all need decommissioning. Because you're going to kill this planet. There'll only be room on this planet for 500 million people by the time they're done. That's it. So they'll still be overpopulated in what's left of available land space. The seas will be dead. The oceans will be dead. The Pacific Ocean is dying. Nobody's bothered about that. You don't see CNN bothering about what's going on at Fukushima. The impacts on Japan and the Pacific Ocean. They're not shutting down nuclear power stations, are they? But oh, London College has done this study. I tell you, this just made me want to vomit when I read it. It's just so despicable. It's so despicable. Not even a jot of any remorse about what was done to those people. But instead, you know, let's learn from it. What can we learn from killing? Well, I'll tell you what I've learned, and maybe everybody needs to learn it now, because this surely is the Armageddon where we are facing absolute evil. Absolute evil. And we are going to have to stand up and fight this madness, this insanity, because they surely have drawn their swords against us.